Right, so I've actually been planning on doing this video for about 4 days. And the reason I've held off doing it is because it's a bit of a complicated box set. Hopefully this video does manage to explain everything about it in a concise and normal manner. Right, and I'll explain why it's complicated as well. So this is a 2003 Region 2 Bruce Lee set. So it's a 30th anniversary filled with Bruce Lee goodies. I really wanted to get the Golden Harvest Arrow set, but one, it's very hard to get hold of, and two, it was pretty pricey. However, I was browsing through one of my local CEXs the other day, which is a trade-in store, and I saw this box set, £22. Now, I didn't have £22 spare, but what I did have was some Blu-rays at home that I then traded in to get a voucher, and then that enabled me to go back in and get this £22 box set. So it is a Region 2 set. It's very solid cardboard outer casing. It is a set by Hong Kong Legends. I kind of like to collect all the Hong Kong Legends stuff. I like what they do. A lot of the Hong Kong Legends stuff was released years ago. I remember having some of the John Woo ones, I think it was like 20 years ago. So there are probably different versions of the same films that have come out since. But with, seeing people talking about this Golden Harvest Arrow box set kicking around, it made me think, I haven't seen the Bruce Lee films for quite a while. I have seen Enter the Dragon, that's part of my Warner Brothers box set. So I rewatched that maybe 6 months ago. And out of all the Bruce Lee films, that's the one I've seen more than any other. So what do we get in this box set? You can see that it's quite a chunky box set. It's a 6-disc set. Let's say it's Region 2, 22 years old. And we get the following films in it. So we get The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, Way of the Dragon, and Game of Death. And I'm going to go through in this video what you get in each disc. And that's where it gets a little bit weird and a little bit complicated. So what we've got here is the solid cardboard shell, which opens up, and this is a magnetic strip that you'll see there. So it clamps together quite nicely. Listen, doesn't fall open, so that is a win in my book. So we get in here, we get sort of some quotes from the legend that is Bruce Lee, some nice photos there, and then in here we get the following. So this slides out of this nice cardboard solid box. It is quite a thick cardboard box as well. So I'm going to put this to one side for now, and then we will concentrate on what we get in this actual set. So first up, we get this hardback book. Now on one hand, it looks quite exciting because you're like, wow, it's a solid hardback book. But then when you look at the page count, it is pretty thin. There's not many pages in there. Not sure how many pages it is, to be honest. Is there a page count on it? There is not. I would probably say maybe 30 pages, something like that. But it's still nice. It's nice to have it than not to have it. It's divided up into 7 chapters. So we get Bruce Lee, the man of the legend, 30th anniversary tribute, reflections on the master, portraits of a legend, Bruce Lee location guide, which I bet is quite interesting, a message for life, and credits and acknowledgements. So let's go forward to the chapter 5, the location. Plenty of text in here. There are probably better biographies or autobiographies of Bruce Lee, but this is a nice little addition. So what we've just got here is just a really short list of some of the locations that we used in Bruce Lee films, including Enter the Dragon, which unfortunately isn't in this set because that'll be owned by Warner Brothers. But we get a few more locations, so we're up to like 21 locations. So if anybody wants to sort of go on a full-on pilgrimage for Bruce Lee stuff, then go seek out some locations. So it's probably a book you'd read once, hardback cover. It's not bad, it's fine. Better to have it than not include it in the set. Just adds a little cherry on top for that. Then we end up with 2 of these. Now each of these has the 3 discs in them. So I will go through, which one do I go through first? Let me have, well, I'm going to go through this one first because I have details of what's in these discs in front of me. I cannot possibly memorize everything, so here we go. We get a little list of special features down here. There is kind of more included, not too much more, but it looks like a short list, doesn't it? I saw some reviews of this box set that said there was no special features on the in the set, and it was just the films and the discs. I beg to differ. There is quite a lot of special features in this. So what we get here is 3 discs per little pack. Obviously we've got that one, and then we've got this other one. So we get 2 of these. We'll look at this other one in a few minutes. Now these, apparently the discs are the first discs of the actual Hong Kong Legends Platinum series. So if you do have these, then other than this commemorative disc, you've probably got these already included. So first up, we get 1971's The Big Boss. I'm very happy that these Hong Kong Legends discs and these ones have audio commentaries by Bay Logan. And if you've not listened to Bay Logan talk about Hong Kong movies, you're in for a treat. Very, very good. I've listened to a lot of Bay Logan's commentaries on films that I've not even seen, and I'm fascinated by them. So on this particular disc, we get the full-length audio commentary for The Big Boss by Bay Logan. There is a photo gallery. Don't know about you, I'm not a massive fan of photo galleries on DVDs and Blu-rays. There's an animated biography showcase, which is 21 minutes and 13 long. I haven't actually checked that out yet, but that is on this disc. We get some trailers. There's a UK promo trailer, there's a theatrical trailer, the original one, and there's the original Hong Kong promo trailer as well. So it's just 3 trailers. If you like looking at the sort of press kit stuff, then go for it. And then there's a whole bunch of further attraction trailers for things like Drunken Master, Body Weapon, Drive, etc. Not Bruce Lee films. That's pretty much what you've got on disc number 1. Now disc number 2, although technically it's disc number 3, isn't it? So we're going to skip over this one for now. This is where the set gets rather weird. You look online for a rundown of what's in these sets, and it seems to be all over the place. I sat down the other night and went through all these discs, menu to menu to menu, and wrote my own list down, and it was all in a different order from everything that I found online. So I've managed to piece together, as far as I can tell, a reasonable order, just so you can understand it. We get Fist of Fury, which I didn't write the date. I'm suspecting 72 if I remember off the top of my head. So a year after The Big Boss. I was quite surprised at in how short succession a lot of the Bruce Lee films came. 71, 72, 73. And then we get onto Game of Death, which is just a whole other strange production. So this one again, Bay Logan is back for a commentary. We get this animated biography, 21 minutes and 13 seconds, exactly the same length as the one on The Big Boss. So I suspect it may actually be the same biography. So don't go repeating yourself by thinking, oh, I'll watch another one. Promo trailer, UK one, and the original Hong Kong trailer is on there, and photo galleries and stuff like that. But in this sub-menu, there are some interviews. There was an interview by Max Lee, which is 18.5 minutes, and Tony Liu, 13 minutes and 17. So you are getting just over half an hour worth of interviews on the Fist of Fury set. And again, you get the trailers that I'd mentioned before. There's trailers for Armor of God. There is a trailer for The Big Boss on this one, but you've already got it on The Big Boss. Eastern Condors, Battle Creek Brawl, etc. So then we go on to, and I am going to come back to this, but this is just like the weird way that they've put this box set together. So we are getting the films that I've mentioned, but also smack in the middle of it is this bonus disc. But I am going to come back to that in a second. Let's go over to the second pouch, where we get 1972's Way of the Dragon. Bay Logan and actor John Ben do a full-length commentary on Way of the Dragon. We also get some photo galleries. There are some interviews in this one as well, so check the menus on this one. There's an interview with Andre Morgan, which runs for just short of 15 minutes, 14 minutes and 21 if you want to be accurate. John Ben, who you'll have heard on the commentary. He gives a 4-minute interview, so it's quite short. You're probably going to learn more in the audio commentary with Bay Logan. There's also a 7-minute interview with Anders Nielsen, and then there's a 13.5-minute featurette called Reflections on the Little Dragon. Those featurettes are all on this one. As with the other ones, you get some trailers, a UK promo trailer and an original theatrical trailer, and there's also a rare trailer archive within the menus of this. There's a 40-second TV slot and a 9-second TV trailer, teaser, should I say, and then the original theatrical trailer, which is 2.5 minutes long. And again, with Hong Kong Legends wanting to pimp out their other releases, there are trailers for their other stuff. So then we go to, and again, this is the second odd one. We look at the next disc in this set. So if you look at that, we've got Where the Dragon there. And I know these discs are in the right place because it says it there. Then on the next one in, Game of Death Platinum Edition Disc 2. So, and then next to it, Game of Death Platinum Edition Disc 1. Very strange order to put these things in. So Disc 2 first and then Disc 1. Very strange. So we're going to go to Disc 1 first. So this is the one with the movie. Now, this is the film that I've seen clips of, but I don't know if I've seen it in its entirety. So I am interested to watch. I don't know how I feel about Game of Death, though, because of its production. It was shot in, I think, 73, 72, and then Bruce Lee was given the chance to go do Enter the Dragon, so they broke off filming with the whole plan of coming back to complete Game of Death. But Game of Death was never completed. There was a lot of scenes apparently, and forgive my knowledge, let's say I haven't listened to the commentary, I haven't even seen the film yet. There were scenes that were shot of stunt doubles or body doubles, and I believe and apparently there are shots within Game of Death of Bruce Lee's body at his funeral for some. I don't know if that's true. That may just be internet trivia craziness, but it's kind of freaky, weird, and wrong if that is the case. I'm definitely not really a fan of that part. I love movies, but there's certain lines I wouldn't cross. So this film was released in 1978, so it was a few years. There is a commentary by Bay Logan in this one. I bet that's fascinating. I will probably listen to that before I watch the film, so I can learn a little bit more. There are a bunch of deleted scenes. Well, I say a bunch. There's like 5. Longest one's 4.5 minutes, and it's the glass house fight. The rest are anywhere between 19 seconds and a minute and something. So there's not tons of it. Apparently on the Golden Harvest set there is a wealth of Game of Death information, including Game of Death 2, which I'm guessing doesn't even have Bruce Lee in it at all. So that's what we get on this one. We get the trailers for other Hong Kong Legends films as well. Then we will go to Game of Death Disc 2, where this is a really odd disc because it's divided up, and I mean it's divided up by graphical menus, not graphic menus, where it is floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, floor 4, and floor 5, which I'm guessing has something to do with the movie. I get the impression that somebody has to fight their way up, a bit like The Raid or Dread or something like that. And so a lot of the special features on this bonus disc are divided up into floors for some weird reason. So I went through them all, because at the bottom of the screen you will see the words Ascend and Descend. So I'm like, what does Ascend mean? So I just kept clicking on Ascend, and it would take me to another menu with more special features on. So there is quite a wealth of special features on this Game of Death Disc 2. Floor 1 retrospective production notes, etc. So there's a whole bunch of photos. Again, I'd mentioned at the beginning, I'm not a massive fan of photo galleries or stuff that I've got to read on screen. I'm much more interested in featurettes, documentaries and trailers and whatnot. But floor one has a history of Jeet Kune Do, notes with photos, production stills, rare photo archives. So it's a bit of a slideshow thing. So you click ascend, you go up to floor 2. That houses lots of trailers and TV spots. So there's an original theatrical trailer in English and also in Cantonese. There's a UK promo trailer, and there's trailers for The Big Boss, Fist of Fury and Way of Dragon. A couple of TV spots on there as well for Way of the Dragon and Fist of Fury. Click the ascend button again, you go up to floor 3. The biography of Dan Inosanto. And there's 2 featurettes, documentaries on here. There's Dan Inosanto, Warrior and Teacher, which is a 10-minute interview, or 10 and a half minutes. Then there's a Jeet Kune Do seminar with Dan Inosanto, which is 40 minutes and 24. So it's a bit of a hefty one there. Click ascend on the buttons again. You are going up to the 4th floor. Taki Kimura, Keeping the Flame Alive, which is a 9-minute 26 interview. And then there is a 7-minute interview with former James Bond and martial arts expert George Lazenby, Reflections of the Master. Then there was also a Game of Death outtake montage, lasts about 3 minutes and 39. Click the ascend button again, we're off up to floor 5, and there's a documentary which runs for 46 minutes and 49 seconds, so just short of 47 minutes there. Legacy of the Dragon, another featurette, 39 minutes and 40, which is Game of Death Revisited. It is what they describe as a literal interpretation of original script notes. I don't even know what that is, but I shall find out at some point. And there's also a biography of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who appears in the film. So this is what you get on this disc. It is a good disc. It's just a bit of a faff when you're clicking on the ascend, descend, and so on. I've got to wonder how many people don't realise that the ascend and descend actually takes you to submenus with extra footage. I think they are trying to be a little bit too smart for their own good by the sort of way they design these menus. But, you know, I found them, so I'm guessing everybody else will find them too. I'm not really any smarter than the majority of physical media fans as well. So we're going to go back to this set now. And we're going to go back to effectively what is disc 2 in the set, but is actually disc 6 in the set. Go figure. There's a hefty amount in here. Now this is solely just featurettes and documentaries and extras and stuff. There are no movies on this particular disc. So it's divided up into sections. So the first section is Family and Friends, which is a 19-minute or just short of 19-minute interview with Robert Lee. There is another interview with Phoebe Lee, 11 minutes and 7 seconds. And then finally, George Lee, who apparently was a friend of Bruce, no relation, same surname, no relation, 15 minutes and 35 seconds. Again, if I've got any little bits of information wrong while I'm going through some of these special features, don't have a go at me. I am fully not an expert on Bruce Lee, but I would like to be, but there is just so much to know about the guy, and there's so many other movies to watch as well, isn't there? But I am making an effort by having this box set. The next section is A Legend in Pictures. Again, photos. They're 5 minutes and 4 seconds, slideshow The Big Boss. 3 minutes 46 for The Fist of Fury. 8 minutes 44 for The Way of the Dragon, and 5 minutes 20 for Game of Death. Then there is another section called Reflections on the Little Dragon. Now, I've mentioned that before on one of the previous discs, but this is not the same part as this one. They've just, for some reason, got the same name. Like I say, it's not the most simple of box sets. We get a 17-minute 44 documentary called The Hong Kong Connection. We also get another couple of interviews, one of them with James Liu at 16 minutes 41, and a slightly longer one with Van Williams, 32 minutes and 31 seconds. The next section we get is Dragon Immortal, which contains the Bruce Lee screen test, which is 8 minutes. But that is quite interesting to watch. I did sit and watch that the other day when I was going through these menus. There is 1 minute 20 of Bruce Lee at the June Re Internationals. Watch that too. And there's a whole bunch of Bruce Lee articles. These are all text. There's one by Nancy Kwan, one by June Ri, one by Sylvia Lai, and one by Wu Ngan. All text. So I didn't read those. Like I say, I'm not a massive fan of reading text on a TV screen. We get a whole bunch of movie trailers, bit like the other discs for Hong Kong Legends stuff here. So what do we get though? What do we get other than everything we get? The movies are, there's sort of a mix of dubbed in Cantonese and also English, so English dubbed, which there is a place for that. I know a lot of people aren't fans of dubbed stuff. And then obviously we get the original Cantonese language with the English subtitles. For me, when it comes to watching a film in the original language or watching a dubbed version, years ago I would have watched a dubbed version because that's all we could get. Certainly some of the John Woo stuff that we got never had subtitles. It was only later on when collector's editions and stuff came out that we were in fact able to get the original language stuff. If I'm watching these films in my bedroom, for example, the TV itself is probably 20 feet away from the bed, I will probably watch the dubbed version because I'm a little bit too far away to read subtitles. If I am watching these films downstairs in my screening room, aka living room, then I'm probably only about 5 feet away from my TV, and so I will watch the subtitled version. So it depends when and where I'm watching them. I don't judge anybody. I mean, obviously the ideal way to watch it is in the original language, but it depends how you watch your movies, really, doesn't it? So this set, I am very, very impressed with it. It contains most of the movies, I guess, that are in the Golden Harvest set. It doesn't include Game of Death, doesn't include half the extras that appear to be in this Golden Harvest set. I'm still a huge fan of that set, but I'm also a huge fan of paying my rent and paying my council tax and eating food. So I don't really want to blow it all on a really cool looking box set where I'm able to get my mitts on it. And so this is a pretty good stand-in to sort of just get used to watching some of the Bruce Lee stuff. I'm very happy that the Bay Logan commentaries are on this set as well. And it was £22 compared to a couple of hundred or whatever it was. I know the Golden Harvest one was £110 retail, and I did look at it when it came out and I'm like, oof, I'd really like that, but it's 110 quid, isn't it? And yes, people will say, oh, but it's worth it, look at all the stuff you get. I cannot dispute that whatsoever. But if it's a choice between paying my house rent and buying a box set, the house rent needs to win, doesn't it? So I'm happy with this one. £22 I got it for from CEX. Yes, they're DVDs compared to Blu-rays in the Golden Harvest, but I'm good with that. I haven't seen these films for years. Probably a couple of them. Certainly Game of Death I haven't seen. Way of the Dragon I don't believe I've seen, but I have seen Fist of Fury and The Big Boss. And like I mentioned before, Enter the Dragon I do already own as part of a Warner set. So for £22 I think this is a really good set. You can probably pick it up cheaper. I did look on eBay and places like Music Magpie and did see this set cheaper than I'd paid for it, but I used a voucher, so I'm okay for that. So I hope you've enjoyed this rundown of this rather complex Bruce Lee box set. Usually what I'll do is I'll go through the menus, have a look, see what's on it, but every source I went to had things in a different order. And on some websites, they didn't even have half the special features listed that I've just gone through on this set. So I'm toying with the idea, do I put graphics on this to show you what extras are on? I may not. If you're watching graphics on this video, then I had a lot of spare time to do it. If you don't see any graphics on it, I do apologize. I am trying to sort of catch up with a whole bunch of work tasks and stuff at the minute, and so, you know, this video isn't designed to be like a Wikipedia of Bruce Lee or a Bruce Lee box set. It is designed to just show off what you get in the box, what it looks like, what the special features are so that you can judge for yourself if you happen to see this in a shop. Is it in fact worth it? Is it worth £22? I say definitely yes.